than 3 years into the Russian invasion of Ukraine, President Trump says he is closer to securing a temporary ceasefire agreed to by the Kremlin. The president spoke on the phone with Russian President Vladimir Putin this morning. Jessica Moore is here now with what the leaders discussed. Jess.
Well, Cindy, the pace of negotiations has escalated greatly over the past few months, culminating with today's call between the two presidents with the goal of a 30-day ceasefire to discuss a longer peace deal. The main sticking points for Russia appear to be keeping the territory it has seized since the invasion and ensuring Ukraine is never allowed to join NATO. But convincing Ukraine to concede territory will be a difficult task. As the unrelenting battle continues on the ground in Ukraine, the White House claims it is making progress toward a possible ceasefire with Russia. Ukrainian leadership has already agreed to President Trump's terms. Now he must convince Russian President Vladimir Putin to sign off.
We'll be talking about land. We'll be talking about power plants. That's up. It's a big question. But I think we have a lot of it already discussed. Very much by both sides.
One of Russia's hard lines has always been that Ukraine not be allowed to join NATO. On Russian state TV, Vladimir Putin said he also wants Ukraine to shrink the size of its military, pull back soldiers from Russian-controlled territories, and allow Russia to keep all parts of Ukraine that it has annexed over the past decade.
And what I know is that you cannot automatically trust him. You have to verify because trust is very far out and very far away. And he will only come to a deal at the last minute. We know this with the Russians. So let's not read too much into what they are saying.
Ukraine has agreed to cease all military activity for 30 days in exchange for hundreds of Ukrainian children it says Russia has kidnapped. But President Volodymyr Zelensky has said his country will not reduce the size of its military, adding that conceding Ukrainian territory to Russia is a non-starter.
There will likely be difficult conversations to be had on both sides when you're talking about, the release of hostages, when you're talking about potential ceasefire agreements, when you're talking about territory.
And of course, the other big talking point between Presidents Trump and Putin is the fate of Ukraine's largest nuclear power plant, which Russian troops stormed in 2022. Before the invasion, that plant supplied roughly 20% of Ukraine's energy. It sits in one of the regions Russia illegally annexed in 2022. Cindy.
Jessica, thank you.